It is another edition of Mini Chirps, our player signing editions, and we bring in a Cyclones defenseman, Graeme Brown, who is coming back for season 2 in the Queen City. Graeme, it's been a while since the fans have seen you. I haven't seen you in months. How are things going up north?
Good, man. Busy summer up here. Weather's been great. And, nice to get a little bit of time off and enjoy it. It's been pretty awesome though. But looking forward to getting back to Cincinnati in the fall here, and starting to skate and get things going.
The interesting thing about these Zoom calls is we're talking to people from all over the U.S. and much like yourself, a lot of players in Canada. We've seen guys answer these in rooms kind of like mine. I'm a pretty bland guy at home, not a lot going on. You're calling in from work at a nice hotel, it looks like, from what you were showing me. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing for work this summer?
Yeah, so my family owns a couple of hotels in a small little tourism town in Canada called Gananoque. So I do all the sales for my dad's company. So we're really busy right now in the summertime. We're getting lots of people in town and trying to drive rate and drive occupancy the best I can. So I do that. I do that in my off season. So I don't get too much time off in the summer, but I enjoy it, and it's a nice little gig to do.
It sounds like your phone just went off. That could be another client coming in for you.
Exactly. Or another problem I got to solve. One or the other.
You know what? I can tell you this. Cyclones staff appreciate hearing this because they know what it's like. Our sales staff does a tremendous job of getting people in the seats at Heritage Bank Center. You got to experience that firsthand. And this was your first professional season. And Brownie, you kind of became a fan favorite right away. I think people like your toughness. They like that you can hit. We certainly know you can fight. What was it like in the couple of months that you got to experience professional hockey with the Cincinnati Cyclones?
Well, it just kind of brings me back to my first game playing. It would have been New Year's Eve, indoor fireworks, place was packed. Ended up getting in a scrap, I think 5 or 10 minutes into my first game. And just the fans in Cincinnati are amazing. Like they love the rough and tough style, and I'm happy I can bring that to the table. Hopefully, night in and night out. So I appreciate the fans, and the amount of fans we get there is incredible, especially, Ohio. I never thought it'd be much of a hockey state, but it's crazy the fans we're getting. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, and you know this from being with the team that second half of the year. Like, we went to a lot of different arenas on the road. There aren't too many places that really rival what you get in Heritage Bank Center, especially on some of those. I mean, you talked about New Year's Eve. There were over 8,000 fans in the arena for those indoor fireworks. And, I mean, man, dude, that place gets loud.
Oh, it's the best. And then I get, buddies coming to town, there had a couple buddies on Allen or different teams that are coming in from out of town, and they just couldn't believe the atmosphere that we have in our rink and how great it is of a spot to play at. Other teams come in and then they wish they were on our team because obviously the fans and the building and the city. So it's definitely something I'm happy to be there, and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, you mentioned your buddies. I didn't get to meet them. I got to meet your mom, and she's a huge Cyclones fan now. I think a Graeme Brown fan first, a Cyclones fan second. But, I mean, how cool was it to get people from home to Cincinnati? Because I know there's a lot of players that unfortunately don't get that. Even myself, family lives so far away from here in Ohio, which really we're on the corner of Ohio. We border Kentucky. So how neat was that to just see familiar faces in the stands watching you do your thing?
Yeah, luckily I got both my mom and my dad to come down a couple times this year, only in the matter of months. I mean, I was only there from pretty much January 1st to the end of the year. So luckily I got a great family who doesn't mind traveling and coming down and supporting me. And obviously Monster, I think she was a bigger fan of you than me. I mean, she just loved your announcing, man. She loved it.
I hope she loved the playoff goal that we called for you. I'm trying to think if that was, I want to say it was game 5 or game 4.
No, what did we do? It was 2-3-2, right? So that was game 1 in Cincinnati. Game 3, game
right.
1 for us.
Right.
Yeah, that was
a nice goal too.
Thanks, appreciate it.
So, and we'll talk a little bit about the playoff series and kind of how that came to a close for you. But first, let's just, keep talking. I mean, we're mentioning friends and family. Mm-hmm. What helps is coaching and teammates and people who are really getting you acclimated day in and day out in that dressing room. So You're back in Cincy for year 2, but this happens by who, if you don't mind sharing? Is it Alex Becerra, the assistant coach, who I know you worked closely with, being a defenseman, which he manages? Was it Jason Payne? Was it one of the players in that locker room that kind of put the bug in your ear that, hey, the Cyclones would be a good spot to join? I mean, how did you end up in Cincinnati?
So I used to let me get this straight. So back there was a place I used to work out at in Kingston. It's about like 20 minutes from Gananoque, and Painter was working there. And this had to have been 6 or 7 years ago, at least, maybe 8 years ago. And I just stayed in touch with Painter. He was more doing like skills and coaching at that time. He just retired from pro, so he was just kind of getting his feet wet. And then kind of just stayed in touch with him. I'd post something on Facebook or Instagram, and Painter would reply, or he'd post something. I shoot him a message or whatever, and then we just kind of got talking. Once I'm done playing hockey, he'd love to have me come down to Cincinnati and play pro. Then it was just there was another COVID was happening again in Canada, and then my hockey season was getting shut down at school, so I just picked up the phone, called Painter, got my coach from Queen's University to also give him a call. And then it was like 2 days later, I'm, playing in my first game, in front of 10,000 people. And, it was amazing. And that's kind of just how it started.
Isn't it crazy, for all the bad that comes with COVID? And I've talked with Painter about this in the same breath. It provided so much opportunity for guys like yourself. I mean, you were among a cast of players. Some stayed with the team throughout the season, some didn't, and still, ended up making contributions when they were here. I mean, again, for all the negative that it had, and thankfully, and fingers crossed, we are on the other side of that entirely. Mm-hmm. So many people got opportunity. I mean, how important was it for you there? Like you said, Queen's University, all of a sudden you think you're just going through another college season, and now you get thrusted into a role where this, Brownie, with the way the ECHL works, that could have been one and done for you. You could have came up, played a game, and Painter could have said, hey, it's not going to work out. And you ended up working your tail off and stayed with the team the rest of the year.
Yeah, exactly. I was actually having a conversation with a buddy the other day, and like at Queens, you go and you play and you be on the team at the start of the year, but once you start playing pro, you got to fight every day for your life. I mean, it's your job now, and somebody is always knocking at the door trying to take your spot. So, you got to come in and make a statement, or score a goal, or get in a fight, or just battle your ass off to stay in the lineup and keep Painter on your side that he wants to keep you around. And luckily it worked out for me, and just with hard work and determination. So that's definitely the biggest difference that I noticed between university hockey and pro.
So you talk about determination. I think you're kind of going through it right now, and probably have been for a couple of months. Talked about this off air, and you were a starting defenseman for the team in the playoffs, and a big contributor in this lineup. And then Game 6 in Toledo, ended up going down, and unfortunately suffering a pretty significant injury. So again, Graeme Brown signed with the Cyclones. We're talking a lot about the guys that are coming in that are getting ready for October. For you, it's going to be a little later and a little past that as you continue to rehab. So, I mean, are you willing to kind of just open up, because it sort of happened all at once? I mean, you were hurt in the game, didn't return. A couple days later, we get eliminated in Game 7. Everybody goes home anyway. So fans may not know exactly the extent of everything that was going on. Can you kind of rewind back? It's, a tough memory to look at, but rewind back to, I believe it was April 30th, Game 6 in Toledo.
Yeah, Game 6 I think it was second period. I just kind of went into the boards a little awkward and hit a guy, and my knee ended up kind of buckling a bit there. And I didn't think it was going to be too bad. I, diagnosed it in the dressing room, and it was just, we're going to take the rest of the night off and try to, get you back for, at that point we were down, I think 3-0. So, hopefully we can get you back for Game 7. And then unfortunately I went to the hospital, obviously, when I got back, and I got an MRI, and it obviously wasn't the news I was expecting. So I tore some ligaments in my knee, and basically I got surgery down there 10 days later, but it sucked because, we got eliminated in game 7, and then, I'm stuck there and, getting surgery. So anyways, it's been a long process, and I'm feeling good now. I'm back up on my feet. I'm walking around, and it's going to be a little bit later of a start for me. I'm hoping I can get in my first game in December. So I'll be around come October, November. I'll be around. I'll be with the team. I'll be training. I'll be stepping on the ice. And then once I can get back to 100%, I'm going to be ready to make my debut again.
Well, I think it's exciting, and at least to know that the surgery was successful. You're on your feet, as you said, so the progress is certainly there.
Yep.
You mentioned December is the timetable. Now, between now and then, I mean, you struck me when you were here as a guy who I watched get better and better from December to May. So I feel like even though you're not 100%, you're not able to go full contact yet, are you doing little things to get better, even if it's watching stuff? I mean, a student of the game?
Yeah, no, for sure. I got a bike here at home. I've been going to physio 5 times a week. It's been a pretty rigorous schedule that I've been on, just trying to stay in shape. And obviously there's things that I haven't been cleared to do. And as I get closer to, being cleared to play, I get to cross things off my list. I can start running soon. I can start jogging. I can start doing agility work and all that type of stuff. But right now, I'm just staying focused. I'm doing a lot of biking, a lot of physio, a lot of therapy, just to kind of loosen up those muscles and make everything heal properly, I guess would be the right way to do it. And you don't want to go too fast because you could end up hurting yourself even worse. So right now, it's just mainly cardio, biking, upper body workouts. So it's going pretty good though.
So let me ask you this as we get to the tail end, Graeme, of this conversation. You mentioned Painter. Alex Bazera was somebody you worked with a lot, being that he was the assistant coach that mainly handled the defense core for the Cyclones last season. How much are you looking ahead? And I get, first things first is being 100% and being able to play at that December timetable that you've kind of lined up for yourself. I guess second, what follows that is, how different, if any, are you expecting or having expectations of yourself in your second professional season? Now that you know what the professional game is like at the ECHL level, what do you see or want to see out of your game as you try to peel more layers back into improving as a total player?
Yeah, I would think just consistency is one of the biggest things, showing up every night and, having a good, solid game every night. And that comes into also play with our team too. And, that's one of the things that I think we need to strive to be better for is, we can't drop 2 or 3 games in a row. We gotta win 5, maybe lose 1 and get back on our feet the next game. And we can't let these losing streaks keep catching up to us. So that's the biggest thing for me is just consistency. And, that's a big mental state of the game. That's all going on upstairs. So I think that's the biggest thing for me, and, just kind of staying focused. And I think with the way the season ended and, making the final playoff team, getting signed again, I'm right there. So I'm just going to have to try to hop right back in it and just be ready to go come time to play.
You've got like an intangible hunger. I can feel it just through talking with you. And it's so exciting to hear that. And Graeme, I'm so happy to know that you're doing better. By the way, you clearly have spent a lot of time with Dejan Mingo. I say that because your answer right there is so similar to him, a guy who was there all season last year and saw the roller coaster of a year that it was. Let's just call it what it was. There's a need for more consistency, and I feel like that's recognized by you. And you mentioned the mental side, but it sounds like a total buy-in from the team right now.
Yeah, no, I definitely think so, and especially with taking Toledo to 7. I think, and with a lot of guys returning, I think everybody's going to be on the same page, and it's going to be an exciting year, and it's to go win a championship.
Sounds like a plan, I'm sure, for you and our fans. They sound hungry too. Cyclones' first face-off is going to be October 29th, 7:30 on a Saturday against Iowa. They'll kick things off on the road to start the season a week earlier in Fort Wayne. This is another player signing edition with a great salesman in Graeme Brown. You've got the Cyclones quarter zip on. You are marketing the team. I know you got to sell some hotel rooms for now, but Brownie, thanks for taking the time, and we look forward to you selling some tickets here for fans to see you do what you do best in Cincinnati.
Thanks, Mosser. Thanks, everybody else. Thank you.